Welcome to the School Profile and Projects page. I'm going to explain the elements of your school profile, show you how to create school projects, and walk you through the information on both of these pages. It's important to remember that under Section 1112 of ESSA, all LEAs applying for federal funds must complete a comprehensive education plan. This plan should address how the LEA will ensure that all children receive a high-quality education, as well as how the LEA will close the achievement gap between children meeting the challenging state academic standards and those children who are not meeting such standards. Let's begin by looking at the home page of the application, which is also called the Data Entry menu or the ESEA menu. Pine RSU is a test environment, so what you see on my screen may not look exactly what you have in your application, as Pine RSU's application has been set up to show essentially all possible circumstances an SAU may have. You'll be able to set up your application with the pages that are relevant to you. As I scroll down, you will see that there are already projects and profiles for each school within this SAU. For your SAU, to create a district or school project, you'll click here. Since all schools within this SAU already have a project underway, they appear at the bottom of the page. Your application will show all of the schools in this section, Create School Profile and Projects. You'll be able to click on the checkbox and click Create Profile or Project. Then when you return to the ESEA menu, you'll see the schools listed here. Let's take a look at the Pine Valley Elementary School profile page. The Maine Department of Education requires all LEAs to submit an SAU consolidated plan by July 1st. The school profile section of the ESEA federal funds application asks you to describe the process for developing the school-level comprehensive needs assessment that was used to inform the SAU consolidated plan. First, you will list the dates that the school-level planning team worked on the development of the school's plan. Then you will list the stakeholders involved in the needs assessment process. These may include some of the same stakeholders that comprise the district-level planning team. As with the ESEA application development team page, please ensure that each stakeholder group has at least one representative, and that there is a minimum of 5 unique names. Next, you will describe the process that took place to develop the school-level comprehensive needs assessment. For example, you may include information as to how stakeholders were invited to participate, how stakeholder feedback was collected and integrated, the final decision-making structure, challenges encountered in the process, and how those challenges were addressed. The next part requires you to state the school-level areas of needs that were identified through the comprehensive needs assessment. The school-level goals must be based on those identified needs, and the proposed school projects must align to those needs and goals. Once you complete the profile, you can go on to the school project by clicking the link at the bottom of the page. We're actually going to come back to this project in just a moment, but first, let's go to the ESEA menu and look at an empty project. We'll look at Pine Mountain Elementary. So this is what you're going to see when you open up a school project sheet. First, you'll indicate whether you plan to have an alternative use budget line. This would generally happen very rarely. It's meant for circumstances where an SAU does not transfer funds from one title to another, but still wants to use those funds in allowable ways under that other title. As you create individual school projects, please keep the following in mind. Your regional representative within the ESEA team will be reviewing each project for alignment with your comprehensive needs assessment. Project descriptions should be detailed and specific so that it's clear that funds are going to be used in required and allowable ways. It is possible to adjust project descriptions and budgets after submission of the application, but careful and deliberate planning should minimize the need to do so. When providing a justification for how the proposed project relates to the school's needs and goals, be sure to reference the comprehensive needs assessment and state clearly how you expect the proposed project to lead to attainment of a goal or goals. Next, indicate whether your school has been approved for and is operating a school-wide program, and if so, indicate which federal funds are being used in that program. For example, Title I. When you click Post Update, you'll see that that is now blacked out in the budget chart. You will need to input the amount of your allocation for the titles you selected in the school-wide funding column. As a reminder, if your district receives Title III funds, it is not recommended to use Title III in a school-wide program. If you elect to do so, please remember that Title III funds must be used to supplement the core program for English learners, must meet the required uses under Title III, and must be used to benefit English learners only, not other students. Also, please note that for Title I, the school-level budget total will populate the Ranking of Schools and Distribution of Funds page. If you are not operating a school-wide program, you will enter the title funding that you plan to use and specify budget amounts in each column of the chart. As I mentioned, it's possible to adjust budget amounts after submission if needed. To do so, you will contact your regional ESEA team member to reopen the page for you so you can make the necessary changes and resubmit. Once you have finished entering the budgetary information, you will click Post and Update. Now let's go back and look at Pine Valley Elementary's completed school project page as an example. Note the level of detail and specificity used in describing the activities that the funding will support. The project lists clear objectives and activities that will be implemented to achieve those objectives. And perhaps most importantly, the objectives align to the data and goals identified in the school's comprehensive needs assessment. This concludes the guidance material on the School Profile and Projects page. For additional questions, please reach out to your assigned ESEA Federal Programs Regional Team member.